Hello and welcome to week 4 of our League Pick'em series. My name is Chris, and join with me is my talking about football partner, Jason.
Hey there, Chris. There's only one thing separating me right now from cooking a big batch of avocado cheese fries, and that is this podcast. So let's get going.
Yeah, honestly, a pretty interesting week to talk about. A lot of upsets this week. We ended up both calling a lot of games wrong, but this week Jason came out ahead by one game. He gets his first pity points of the season and ends this week 11-5, where I was 10-6, and that'll put me at 35-13 with just a 4-game lead, and Jason is now 31-17.
More of those to come, Chris. How's it feel to be on the bottom for a week?
I still got a cushion.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, let's get through a slightly more speedy recap than usual. Jason's a little under the weather here. First off, why don't you walk us through how the Bills still have a road to the playoffs? I mean the Dolphins.
I mean, the Bills most definitely have a road to the playoffs. Yeah, we'll talk about that in week 4. But Dolphins. Look, what did I say last week when we were discussing their loss against New England? I said the Dolphins are now 0-3. I said that they're going to get behind a little bit early, even though they're going to play close. They actually played closer for even longer than I thought they would. And like I said, at the end it got desperate. Tua was not clutch, even though he played a relatively good game. Buffalo is just too dang good, too strong. This was I think, a pretty predictable outcome. I think fans of both teams are probably satisfied with what they got here. I think Buffalo is absolutely making their case as a very strong playoff team. Maybe we'll actually see them in the Super Bowl this year, but probably not.
They did get the championship last year, and they have a really good schedule this season.
They get to the championship most years. They never get past the championship, man.
Okay, well, a lot of teams would be dreaming to go to the championship, man.
Oh, I dream of it every year. I'm dreaming of going to the divisional round.
Dreaming of winning a wild card game, actually.
That would be going to the divisional round, yeah.
Okay, next up, we got a lot of games we both picked wrong this season, starting with the Falcons.
Yeah, there's a lot of surprises.
Just going completely just bananas here, losing 0-30 against the Panthers somehow.
This was crazy. This was my survivor pick, and you can guess which side of this I picked.
So does that mean you're out of the league or something?
I'm out of the league, yeah. The only consolation is if I wasn't going to pick them, I was going to pick Green Bay this week, and they also lost. So that's the only consolation for me. But man, watching that go from 10-0 to 16 or 17-0 to 30, I was like, oh no. I know that you hate Michael Penix because he replaced Kirk Cousins.
I don't hate him.
They brought Kirk Cousins into this game. Well, you're so down on him. They brought Cousins into this game. He didn't do any better. Penix did not play well. Let's get that. Let's get that straight. But it's also not Penix's fault. They missed 2 field goals in the first half. That his running backs were fumbling balls like they were Ricky Williams. Trying to hold like a greased ball. I don't know, man. Carolina, kind of the whipping boy of the league, absolutely making a statement game here. I don't know if this is going to be their total get right, but good for them, man. Good for them. I'm proud of them.
Obviously, I didn't watch this game, so I can't even guess how the Falcons couldn't do anything. And they're supposed to have a pretty good defense on top of that.
It was every time they were putting a drive together, they found a way to just throw the ball away. It was not good.
All right, let's move this along. Our next even crazier upset, the Packers 2-0 going down to the lethargic Browns, and in just incredible defensive showing out of the Browns, and they end up getting the W in a super close game. And this one I feel like is more impressive, honestly, than the other game.
Yeah, I didn't see any of this. So I mean, was it just all their defense? I know that was a fairly low scoring game, but did the Cleveland offense do anything?
No, I mean they just put up 13 points, but it was enough.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, sometimes like three scoring drives, like it can still be like a competent offense depending on the game flow. But anyway, yeah, this was an absolute shocker. Cleveland also played Cincinnati within a point of winning in week one. This is not the same absolutely brown team that they were under Deshaun Watson. Sure, they're still ailing from that huge contract, from just the albatross of having him there. But between the defense and the fact that any offense is an upgrade from what they had, maybe there's a path for them here. I don't think they're seeing the playoffs, but yeah, they might not be in the toilet bowl as much as we think. What do you think?
I think they're still going to be in the toilet bowl until they have like a long-term starter. They haven't had a franchise quarterback in like 30 years.
That's true. Although there's certainly teams that make it out of the toilet bowl without having that. But yeah, Green Bay on the other hand, I've been praising them the whole season as a team that basically doesn't have a weakness, and yeah, I mean their offense just came out flat.
Something tells me the Packers will bounce back next week, but we'll get to that later.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think they're going to rebound. Even if it's later rather than sooner, it'll happen. Every part of that offense knows what.
We'll get to their
Uh,
matchup next.
I see who they're playing.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Next up, we've got the Texans dropping to 0-3 against the Jags, who now have a winning record for the first time in what feels like, multiple seasons.
Yeah, Tank Dell is going to be injured, I think, maybe throughout this entire season from his season-ending injury at the end of last year. And I think we're really seeing how much that offense hurts without him. I was saying last week, right? Any offense with Nico Collins on it can do something, but when you also have the threat of Dell, you can do so much more.
Honestly, I
CJ's
think
just
they're hurting a lot more by not having Joe Mixon, I think.
That's absolutely true as well. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. This offense really is not functioning well. I don't think that CJ is getting particularly good cover, blocking either. And yeah, this is not any fault on Houston except their offense. It's just really chugging badly right now. Jacksonville, on the other hand, 2-1, man. Can we finally say they're sneaky good again?
I don't know if they're sneaky good. I think the Texans are just in a rut.
Yeah, I mean, think about the division they're in, right? I mean, who in that division really gives you confidence? Can't be Denver anymore.
Denver's not in their division.
Sorry. Yeah, AFC West, AFC South. So it's the Texans, it's the Colts. Oh yeah, the Colts are really good. The Jaguars and who's the fourth? The
Saints, right?
Raiders? No, it's not
Oh
the
no,
Raiders.
not
That's
the Saints.
West as well. That's the Saints are NFC.
My bad.
Yeah. Titans. The
Yeah,
Titans.
that's what I knew. Isn't a dumbass.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, are the Jags a top two team?
that division is so poverty.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
next up.
mhm. Go on.
Next up, we've got the Bengals and their backup quarterback getting absolutely annihilated by the Vikings defense went off in fantasy for like 57 points this week. They got like 5 turnovers, like 2 defensive touchdowns, and all manner of crazy shit. Wasn't really great out of like Carson Wentz with the Vikings offense, but it didn't need to be.
It was 40-0, I believe.
Yeah,
48
48 to
10.
10.
48-10. I conflated it with the Panthers Falcons. But yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, the Bengals were scoreless for a while in this one. Yeah, just absolute stomp. I called this one wrong. I thought that the Bengals kind of being more used to not playing with a
Mm-mm.
backup quarterback would be able to would weather the storm better. But yeah, this was just embarrassing.
It's not going to get
34
any
points.
better.
There was only one more embarrassing first half this week, and we'll get to that one.
All right, next up, the Steelers just barely sneaked by the Patriots in a game where the Patriots were like doing everything they could to lose this. They had 5 fumbles this game, from what I heard. It was funny to read some of like the player reports coming out of like Drake May and their 2 running backs, all these crazy fumbles, and the Steelers almost lost this.
Tell me more about how Aaron Rodgers is just absolute crap at this point, and is
I
just the luckiest starting quarterback ever.
I don't think anyone's ever made the case the last few seasons that he was like the greatest or the best, but he's clearly a better starter than several other teams have at their
A
disposal.
lot of Yeah, a lot of talking heads like to make that argument. Oh, the Jets are going to be a 12-win team this year with Aaron Rodgers.
I think they had a chance. I never put a number on it, but a winning season wasn't out of the question.
There's a big
And
difference
to
between
be
not.
fair, they lost a lot of like one-score games.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of one-score games in the NFL. I mean, point is you have to win this. But anyway, this is a one-score game that Pittsburgh got lucky into winning. You look at the end of the season, I think it's more likely the Patriots are going to have a winning season than the Steelers will. But either way, I don't have a lot of faith right now in either one of these teams. I don't know if there's really that much more to say.
I haven't seen the schedule for either of them and stared at it intently, so I can't really make a prediction right now.
Yeah. How crazy is it that Cincinnati, with I believe like a minus 31, minus 33, something like that point differential, is the AFC North division leader? I mean, how crazy is that? That's a division with the Baltimore Ravens in it.
All that's on the back of like Joe Burrow the first 2 weeks, so it's kind of meaningless.
Minus 33 net points.
They're going to be like probably like 3-10 before long.
You think so?
Yeah,
All right.
I mean
I
they
guess
ride or die on like Joe's arm basically. They can't do shit without him.
Yeah. Well, let's see if they surprise you. Probably not, though.
I'm sure they'll
Next.
sneak like 1 or 2 games here and there, but I think they're heading to another insanely disappointing season, man.
Shall we talk about the biggest coaching collapse since the Atlanta New England Super Bowl?
Okay, how is a blocked field goal Sean McVay's fault? Because otherwise they would have won this game, basically.
Well, because he kept insisting on throwing the ball long on 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2, setting up both blocked field goals.
Okay,
When all they needed to do was run the ball twice, and they would
meh.
win the game.
Make it sound like he knew it was going to happen twice. It's like
Not only
hardly ever
that, but
happens
on
once.
4th down, when he finally did run the ball on 4th and 1, he ran it up the hole where their weakest replacement guard was playing and just got absolutely massacred. They were ahead 26-7 and they lost the game. This was unreal. Yes, it was also the players, but they would have still won by 10 points if McVay wasn't throwing the ball long over and over and over on 3rd and short. It was some of the worst coaching I've ever seen, except that's not true because I've seen McVay do a lot worse.
Yeah, you just like
Very exciting game to watch. I watched this whole thing at the 1 o'clock hour, and it was a really fun game. It was heartbreaking as a Rams fan, but it was really fun.
Yep, it was fun. I watched it too.
Yeah, Philly really did not look good in the first half. I think it was, just like the Rams defense, especially making Philly's offense not look good more than it was Philly doing anything terribly. But I think that as messy as they were, to see them be able to, when they've been playing ahead so often in the last year and a half, to be able to put together a good effort and kind of know what to do when they're down by 3 scores is such a good omen for the Eagles and for them two-peating this year. Repeating? Repeating. Nobody says two-peat.
I never heard anyone say Amen instead of Omen either.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people say almond.
All right, next up we've got the Bucks winning a third nail biter in a row to stay undefeated against whoever the hell the Jets' backup is. It was a close game. I think it's Tyrod Taylor. He's actually pretty good. Yep. I don't know why this was so close. To be honest, the Bucks should have kind of ran away with this a lot earlier, in my opinion.
Are you just looking for a reason to make it for like a quarterback controversy between Fields and Taylor?
I don't think you have to look for one. It's not like he'd
Yeah.
have to do much to for people's eyebrows to raise up.
Man, you hate Fields so much.
I don't hate him. His mediocre career speaks for itself, and mediocre is a compliment.
It's true that like all the fans in New York are always just looking for a reason to make a change. I think the Giants more than the Jets, but yeah, not the most that's loyal fan bases. It's just not the most patient fan bases, I'll put it that way. Yeah, this was really a surprisingly close game. I'm sure you think that the Buccaneers and your boy Baker are still good.
I mean, I don't remember who they played the first 2 weeks of the season, but they should have had a much more commanding victory in this game.
Looks like they got Atlanta and Houston. Neither of which are particularly good.
Yeah, but they're more middle of the pack at least.
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay is a good team.
Yep, I think they have to play the Eagles next week, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
All right, next up we've got the Crazy Colts staying undefeated with Daniel Jones against the Stinky Titans, the bottom of their division and top of their division.
All right. Now, as much as you wanted to pick against the Colts, you knew you couldn't do it against the Titans, but 41 points. What do you got to say? What do you got to say about this?
I say it's all Jonathan Taylor because I've seen the fantasy points. That's for sure. He's got like 40 points this week.
Daniel Jones with 9 yards per passing attempt and 113 quarterback rating. You're saying that's all Jonathan Taylor?
A lot of it is, yeah.
Okay, just because Daniel Jones gets the ball from the 20 to the 2, on the other team's side of the field, and Jonathan Taylor runs it in. Yes, he had 3 scores. Yeah, he also had a nice 6-yard rushing average. Doesn't mean that Jones isn't doing a lot of heavy lifting.
He is. He just doesn't know what time it is yet. He needs to put that watch back on so he knows when he turns back into that pumpkin carriage.
Yeah, you're really waiting for that other shoe to drop? I don't know that it's going to, especially in this division.
It's inevitable, dude. And there's a reason that as soon as they went like 14-3 or whatever, the Vikings traded Sam Darnold because he's a loser. And as soon as this guy falls off, or the rails come off, whatever metaphor you want to use, and he starts becoming grossly incompetent like he was with the Giants, they're going to be like, okay, let's give Richardson a chance again, even though he's probably an asshole too.
Just to piss you off, I was thinking about making my prop bet for this week. Daniel Jones going to throw 8 touchdowns. But, no, seriously, like, I'll make the same argument I've been making since week 1 when he demolished my poor marine porpoises. This guy's only sample in the past has been the New York Giants, who make every single player look bad except maybe Neighbors.
It's not like he played one season. He was over there for like 5 seasons, dude.
Who was?
Daniel Jones. It's like he's got a body of work to talk about. It's not like he was there for only 1 year or something.
His entire sample was on the New York Giants.
I know, but he played a while.
They were awful. Even when they weren't awful as a team, their offense was awful.
Well, honestly, the Colts have been awful since Andrew Luck retired, and that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, and then as soon as they got Daniel Jones, they were great. They've had Jonathan Taylor's been there for 5 years too.
He's just been hurt a lot.
Yeah, I really think this guy's for real, and I don't know. I think 2-3 years from now, he might be in the MVP conversation.
He ain't
I
he
know that's
ain't going
your
through
fault,
no he
but
ain't going through no renaissance like Baker did or Geno did or Darnold did. It ain't happening.
I think Renaissance might be an understatement. This is like he's going straight from the Middle Ages into the Space Age.
No, this is like the three or
When we
four
bring
or
up
5 weeks where
stratospheric
like
numbers.
this is the 3 or 4 or 5 weeks where like Jameis Winston was the starter of the Browns last year, and he just
Yeah.
put up like crazy numbers, and then we was like,
Even
oh
when
yeah,
Jameis Winston put up good fantasy numbers, he also threw 5
that's
picks.
what I was
And
saying.
everyone's
He's
like,
also a
wow,
turnover
I'm
machine.
so proud of him because he's the best that Cleveland has. Daniel Jones is for real, dude.
Yeah, we'll see. Next up, we've got the Raiders playing the Redskins at home, and they got blown out. And this is probably the first game the Washington or offense has actually looked pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, I told you this would be a get-right game for them against the Raiders. The Raiders just offer nothing in the way of good football. Nothing. They're probably not the worst team, but they're just, I don't know, they feel the most hopeless to me.
I'll say my first round pick's on that team, and he's been garbage.
Mm-hmm. It's not even Bowers, is it?
No, it's that Ashton Genty guy.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. That sucks.
I can
And
dream.
yeah, especially when you're on a bad team, right? It's so hard to put together unless you're like a superstar who the bad team just hands it to you every time and hopes that maybe they can score twice and run out the clock. Like man, it's like if you're on a bad team, right? It's like the game script is going to be pass, 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 pass in the second half of the game.
All right, next up, we've got a close game that the Broncos lost to the Chargers. The Chargers stay undefeated. Very disappointing from my Broncos defense. Thought they'd come in. They did way better than they did last week, that's for sure. Very close game, I guess, but the Chargers
Yeah,
deserved it.
but I think that the Broncos, if I remember right, were down a lot early. Let me look. Oh, not as much as I thought. They came back. They came back in the third quarter, and then the Chargers kind of finished them off. But yeah, I mean, the Chargers just look like a very good team. Always good to see them be able to win the tough games. I think that's the complaint that some people, including me, have against them. They're a good team, but when it becomes really hard-nosed, close football, they don't always get it done. Here they did against the Broncos, who are certainly a respectable team. And I think it's a definitely a quality win. The Chargers are now 3-0. No counting them out. They've got a 2-game lead on anybody in the division. Kansas City's 1-2, Denver's 1-2. The Raiders are already out of it.
They're all 1-2.
I know. Bo Nix, not a good stat line either.
Yeah, but he started slow in his rookie season, and then like the last 3 quarters of the season, he really turned it on. So maybe there's still plenty of time for him to bounce back.
Yeah. Interesting stat. The Broncos did get 5 sacks against Herbert, even in their loss.
Yeah, I wish I would have started them this week, but I'm a dumbass.
This is like the one week that you didn't have a prop that included them getting sacks either.
In my defense, they got me -6 points last week, so I started the
Oh!
I started the Falcons defense this week because they played the Panthers. You can guess how that turned out.
Not so good, man.
All right, next up, we've got a thorough demolition of the Saints as usual by the 2-1 Seahawks. I'm not really a believer in the Seahawks just yet, just because I am not a believer in Darnold. But we'll see. Truth is, he just has a lot of talent over there.
I mean, it's certainly true that he has a bunch of talent. And he's doing enough, and even more than enough. Which is all he needs to do. I mean, their wide receiver core is very good. They've got they've got a great running back in Sir Ken, Kenneth Walker, and besides that, it's worth noting that none of that, like 35 points that they got in the first, maybe like 20 minutes of the game, I was actually watching the first half of this game, and I turned it just because I got everything that I needed to out of it. And went to watch a closer game. But man, it was so fun to watch this stump. Seattle's special teams, and to a lesser extent their defense, were just everywhere. New Orleans could not get a kickoff, could not get a punt off. Seattle was ridiculous, man. If they wanted to, they could have probably run this up 70-7. Nowhere nearly as close as it looked, because in the first 20 minutes of the game, they were 5 scores ahead. It was one of the biggest blowouts I've ever seen, and I loved it.
Why?
That is all.
Or why did you love it?
I just love seeing like one team stomp another. I don't know why, but it's just like I love really close games. I love absolute stomps, and that middle ground where it's like 2.5 scores the whole game. That's the most boring type of football to me.
So you don't like close games, is that what you're saying?
No, I love close games. I love close games. I love absolute stomps. I don't like the in-between. It's an unsatisfying middle ground.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something comedic about watching a team go up 5 touchdowns and the other team just knows they can't do anything.
All right, next up, we've got the most depressing game of the week, short of the Chiefs winning. The Cowboys just have the worst fucking defense in the whole league. It's true. Somehow they lost to the Bears, and it was the most embarrassing game I've seen in a long time. This was like the first game in like 6 or 7 seasons that I didn't even finish. I like, beginning of the fourth quarter, I went to bed. I was just like this. I was so fucking depressed, and I haven't been the same since they lost this game.
You're probably thinking, like, I'm loyal, but, like, what is in it for me to watch the rest of this?
I was so depressed.
They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit whether I'm going to watch the rest of it. They're not playing like they give a shit.
They got off to such a good start, too. Like, this was, like, the most embarrassing, like, 3-and-out for Caleb Williams. They, like, put his ass in his place. He, like, no positive yardage on the first drive. And then that was the end of the good part. The Cowboys had like this really good run, and then another really good run, and then he fucking gets stripped. Javonte Williams, he gets stripped from behind. Might as well just pull his pants down while he was at it. And that was the beginning of the end, man. And then all of a sudden, the fucking Red Sea just parted, and just like Moses just like waved the Bears over. I swear to God, he did, man. This is just. As insult to injury, CeeDee Lamb's going to be out for a fucking month, so fuck. And he's
how much we were making fun of him. He just came up. He was like, "Let my people go."
Exactly.
And speaking of the Red Sea, you must be feeling pretty salty over this one.
I mean, I feel like most Cowboys fans think the Bears are an inferior team, and the Cowboys' offense. I mean, say what you will, how garbage their defense is. Their offense been putting up like 30 points a game.
I wish
blowouts.
So badly that I had a soundboard and I could just play Boomstick D in your voice every single time we talk about the Cowboys.
Did I ever say that?
You said it like 15 times. It wasn't like it wasn't this season. It probably wasn't last season either. Maybe beginning of last season, but.
I said Boomstick D.
Boomstick D about the Cowboys D. Yeah.
I don't remember ever saying those words.
And about how they score 44 fantasy points for you this week.
I'm not sure I ever had their defense the years that it was actually good. Those 3 years that it was.
No, I remember you obnoxiously, texting me 14 texts about how many defensive touchdowns they got for you a few years back.
Well, those were good times, apparently.
Yeah, they were. Man, you didn't even know how good you had it when you were making the playoffs.
I think all 3 quarterbacks that have played Dallas so far, they've all had like the best games of their career this season. Think about that for a second. I forgot who they played in week 1. It was the Eagles, yeah. Okay, maybe it wasn't the best game for Jalen, but Russell Wilson had the best game of his career. And Caleb Williams by far had the best game of his career. And I heard another hilarious stat. This is the first game that Caleb Williams has not been sacked since he played in college.
Mm-hmm.
He's been sacked like multiple times a game, every game of his like career.
Poor guy, man.
They made this guy look like a fucking like Joe Montana or something, man. Fucking embarrassing.
I don't know. You didn't go that far.
This was like the fucking most softest secondary coverage I've ever seen in my life. Every single time you saw Caleb throw it to a receiver, they'd have to fucking pan the camera to find the guy that was covering him. It was like it was non-stop fucking blown coverage the whole goddamn night. This is worse than the prevent nothing. This was like this isn't the zone defense. This is like the 2 zones away defense, man. Of course they weren't in man. You couldn't even fucking find a man downfield that was covering these.
This is everybody just run back to the bench and trip over the bench as you're doing it defense.
I haven't seen anything like this in my life. Even with like mediocre teams, this like fucking secondary was like the stuff of nightmares. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
And like
the Bengals defense looked like this last season in the first 5 weeks.
Not this bad. I'm telling you, dude. You don't make this fool look as good as he did. Now this guy's probably thinking, I'm going to have good games going forward. Boy, is he going to find out. He's like, no one's going to give it to me like Dallas. Oh, my God. Anyway, and yeah, like I said, CeeDee Lamb's going to be out for a month, and he gets like fucking 70% of the targets, so we're fucked now.
I really wish that the next game were like Dallas against Las Vegas, so you'd actually have a hard time making the pick.
Honestly, man, there's no team that they probably won't like get stomped on by now. This defense is so bad. Like they'd have to be in a shootout to win any game. Their defense is so bad. You're right. They are like the Bengals from last season.
Their offense can't win a shootout right now.
Well, now they can't. Not without Lamb. Yeah. Shit.
Next.
Okay. Enough of that depressing nonsense. We got our other close nail biter between the Cardinals and the Niners, and Mac Jones strikes again, and the Niners win a second game without Joe or Brock Purdy.
Yeah, like I said, it's really hard to bet against a healthy CMC, and they've got that. Purdy is a good quarterback, but I don't think that he was ever the heart of the team. I don't think he was ever necessary for them to win games.
I think he's important.
Disappointing this season. I mean, despite the 2 wins, I don't think they've looked particularly good. What do you think?
Well, that's because George Kittle's hurt, Jennings is hurt, Purdy's is hurt. They lost a bunch of cool guys on defense. That's
why. They're 3-0.
Yeah, but none of those wins have been impressive. They're 3-0, but I think they're headed for, what do you call that? Rockier shores or something?
I don't know. That's an expression. We go back to old school Parappa the Rapper. Now don't get cocky. It's gonna get rocky.
Whatever. I think they're about to, they're about to get a rough patch probably.
Yeah,
even though they have like a clownish schedule. If you look at the Niners schedule, this is like the most silliestly easy schedule you've ever seen in your damn life. So maybe they'll just kind of bumble their way into like a wild card or taking the division somehow because their schedule is such a joke. And then they'll probably just get annihilated in the playoffs.
I think Bosa took a bad injury in this game too, right?
Yeah, isn't he out for the season?
Yeah, I think he might be. And, given that he was a big part in not only their defense, but in winning this particular game with the forced fumble.
I'll be honest, since he won like NFL Defensive Player of the Year like 4 years ago, he's been an absolute like zilch non-factor on their team. So
I disagree with that.
Bro, I
disagree with that. He may not put up a lot of stats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His productivity is just like gone absolutely off the side of the observable universe.
A big part of it is they never run or throw at him.
I'm just saying.
I mean, defense is a lot harder, and it's not even easy on offense to like determine like how good somebody is by their statistical productivity. But unless you're going with like really nuanced type of stuff, like normalizing it against the number of balls that are taken their way, like with fantasy stats or even just like the basic kind of stats that you look at on NFL.com, it is really hard to determine the productivity of any lineman or cornerback or safety in the league, really, or linebacker for that matter. Like, it's just really hard to do, and I think that he should not be punished in our evaluation for the fact that teams are scared to put the ball near him.
Okay.
All right, and that's all I have to say about that.
Alright, next up. I was already asleep by the time this game went on, hoping I would wake up to good news. Unfortunately, yep. The Chiefs managed to pull themselves out of the nosedive of their season and get a rather unimpressive win versus a terrible Giants team.
Yeah. I did watch part of this, and honestly, in the second half, the Chiefs looked a lot smoother than they did in the first half. The Giants played well in the first half, but, like I said last week, half of a well-played game, a win does not make. And the Giants just haven't been able to put it together. The Chiefs honestly could have put up more. They were just kind of running, their offense reasonably slow and very consistently. Obviously, the Chiefs being 1-2 and having the scare in the first half of maybe even going 0-3 is not a good look. But their 2 losses have been to good teams. They're they're looking better in this game. They even looked okay in the first couple games. Their defense still looks very good. And I'm not real concerned for them. I'm sure that they will be in the playoffs and probably taking down higher seeded teams by the time that we're in December, January. I'm not too concerned about them. Giants, look, again, half of a good game. It's just a team that doesn't have it together, and maybe they'll get there at some point, but I don't think it's going to be this year.
All right, and then finally on Monday night, did you watch this one?
I only saw a little bit of this one, but real quality win for Detroit here. Yeah.
Yep. The looks close, but honestly, the Lions were in the driver's seat this entire game, even though it was only an 8-point win, 38-30. And the Lions go up 2-1, and the Ravens drop to 1-2. This was a pretty fun game to watch. There's just so much talent on both sides of the ball. And honestly, it's like I said, the Lions were like in control of this the whole time. Like they did such a great job of like keeping Lamar in the pocket and always having like a guy on his ass, because of course he's like slippery as shit. And
that's hard to
they
do.
did such a great job. In fact, it's probably the best job I've ever seen a team do against Lamar's like mobility. Like the guy they had on him was always faster than him. Every time Lamar tried to run, this guy was always ran him down. Whoever they had, it was a good job.
That's really impressive too, because he can go either way once he starts scrambling out of the pocket, or he can just go upfield and run through people sometimes. So it takes a lot to contain Lamar, and then of course if you spend a lot to contain him, he is no slouch with his arm, throwing anywhere on the field. So
he's gotten so
very
good.
hard to do, and that's especially impressive for a Lions D that really hasn't had a ton of success and has been carried by their offense. Now the Ravens did score 30 points, so how did they do that? Given that they had him contained all game.
Well, Derrick Henry did really good, and Lamar has become such an incredible passer from like his early days. I didn't used to like him that much, but how can you not like him now? He's just so complete now.
It's hard to not like him.
He's such a complete player. Unfortunately, like the 11th hour, I said that twice. Derrick Henry fumbled again at like the very end of the game, and I'm sure you heard he's fumbled in like the fourth quarter of all 3 games now.
I
So
saw that happen.
yeah, he
That
had
was
like a
depressing.
meltdown on the sideline. I kind of feel bad for him. So actually, it was kind of just like what happened to the Cowboys. He got like stripped from behind and never even saw the guy that stripped him. It's kind of you kind of feel bad if someone fumbles that way. So someone just like a phantom hand reaches from like behind your shoulder, from like behind you. You don't even see it coming. It's like, so,
Yeah, I mean, it's
but
so important to just really squeeze that football, put it up against your body instead of kind of having it. You know what I mean? If it's in front of you against your body, they're not going to be able to reach from behind and like take it from like your hip by smacking it out of your hand.
all that,
Obviously,
yeah.
it's nice to be it's nice to be able to use your hands better to to make moves against defenders, stiff arm them, just kind of get better motion off of them with a little bit of a push. But the most important thing is taking care of that ball. And yeah, man, when you're Derek, you want to strike oil. You don't want to make it like your hands have oil on them. It's
Wow, great
yeah,
analogy.
I know, man. What a great punt that was. But no, I mean that's been a problem with him for his whole career. Superb, superb kind of yard gainer, but you're always taking the risk that that ball's going to come out.
He didn't fumble like this crucially last season. And I watched a ton of
Not necessarily
Ravens
just
game last
crucially, but
season.
like his whole career when he was on Tennessee. Um, he was really good, but I mean there was a time he was the greatest running back in the league. Not only fantasy wise, but in terms of just like being a weapon for his team. And even then, he fumbled a lot. It wasn't
Truth is,
always.
probably just part of his contract as a Tennessee Titan, he had to probably fumble a certain amount of times.
Oh my
Just so they can
god.
stay underwhelming.
Yeah, well, they should just hire Sean McVay.
Okay, crazy grudge. Alright, that does with our recap, which was supposed to be fast. Somehow is like the longest fucking one yet.
45% of it was just you ranting about the fucking Cowboys.
Okay, at least 25% was Sean McVay then.
I took 2 pot shots at him. Come on.
Okay, let's move on to our picks. This always goes a lot faster. Oh, and I
Yeah.
guess we'll start things off by saying I did not look into his player report, but it does look like Trevor Lawrence avoided the destruction of his collarbone.
Oh yeah, the
And
prop bets. No
obviously, you were
injuries
dead
for
wrong thinking
your
the
boy
Cowboys
Trevor.
were going to hold the Bears to 1 touchdown. Fucking crazy.
I mean, I was halfway there. The Giants did score exactly 1 touchdown. The Bears scored 4. Whoops.
Yeah, crazy.
All right. Well,
I warned you about that defense. You didn't listen to me.
I know, but I got half of mine, whereas you only got half of a collarbone.
I didn't look into it. Did he even get? Can you look real quick? Did he get sacked that game or pressured a bunch? It's hard to
I'll
imagine
look
he didn't
into it
get.
while we make our picks, and I'll let you know.
Hard to imagine he didn't get hit a lot that game. Okay, first up, Thursday night, later today actually for me, we got the Seahawks at Arizona, divisional game. They're both the top of the division. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the Rams are also 2-1 now. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So three-way tie for second place. 49ers are still, in name only at the top of the division. I don't think that'll last for a second. Who do you like in this game?
I love the Seahawks, man. I'm liking everything I see there. They had a rough first game. Their defense is playing so well. Their special teams are playing even better. Their offense is purring. I'm taking the Seahawks. Arizona. It's been a little bit of a pleasant surprise in terms of the game results, but I'm not as impressed by what I see there. I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The way I feel, I think both these teams are a little doofy and inconsistent. I felt better about the Seahawks when Geno Smith was the quarterback, honestly. And the thing is, I don't have good feelings one way or the other to like just pick the Cardinals out of spite. So I'm just gonna go with the Seahawks too.
All right, that's fair.
But defense is definitely better.
And defense is just playing out of their mind. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence was sacked twice.
All right, but it hurt, right? Okay.
Not enough to break his collarbone.
All right, next up from Dublin, we have the 8:30 a.m. game here. We've got the Vikings playing the Steelers in, I guess, some fraudulent Steelers home game, technically. And I got to be honest, I don't feel too good about the Steelers playing against this Vikings defense. And even if the Vikings are like, garbage on offense, I'm not sure it'll matter.
Yeah, I do think this is actually a little bit of a tough game. Given given what Minnesota was able to do last week, I think I still have a lot of faith in them. I hate stinky Aaron Rodgers. I am going to go with the Vikings here. What do you think?
Same.
Going with the Vikings?
Yeah, their defense is just so good, and the Steelers' defense has just been so bad.
I like these international games. I feel like they never bring quite enough culture into it, but I like that they're doing it. I think this is the first game in Ireland, right?
Yes, I think so.
And I was just thinking a few days ago that since there's 17 games a season now for each team, and since you can only have, since you can't have 8.5 home games, maybe to make things fair, every team should just play 8 home games and 8 away games each season, and then also play 1 game international. I think that would be super cool.
That's almost what they're moving towards, because there's more international games this season than there's ever been. I think there's like 8 of them.
There's 8 of them already. That's cool. I'd say just go straight to 16, and then every team plays internationally once. And some teams, get to play in, London, or maybe they have a game in Tokyo, and then another game gets really unlucky and gets food poisoning in Mexico City or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very likely, honestly. Tokyo would be some serious jet lag.
I would love that, and it would also just be like a fair way to do the home and away, because it wouldn't matter whether you're home or away in the international games.
Eventually,
You still get 8 home games.
Play in a red square in front of the Kremlin. Look pretty good.
Oh my god, they'd probably all be kidnapped and held for ransom by Putin.
I don't think that would happen.
Okay, only the away team would be kidnapped and held for ransom by Putin.
All right, next up we've got the Redskins at Atlanta, and nothing the Falcons have done has filled me with confidence. That's for sure.
Fucking Trump publicity stunt. There's
definitely nothing. No way I can feel good about picking Atlanta over the Redskins in this one. There's just nothing to look forward to, Not until they bring Kirk back, at least. Then I can be delusional.
Delusional is about right. Yeah, I had so much faith in Washington at the beginning of this season. I think I actually picked them to win the division over the Eagles. I don't think it's happening with how they're playing, man.
I don't think the Eagles have been that impressive, to be honest.
The Eagles have been less impressive than you might think, but look at their record and look at the teams they've played.
Yeah, they could easily be 0-3 though.
I don't think they could.
They almost lost to the Cowboys. They almost lost to the Chiefs, and they almost lost to the Rams. It's true. They almost lost to all 3 of those teams. And 2 of those teams they should have took a shit on.
You're counting the Chiefs in that?
Definitely. They're massively underperformed, man.
Anyway, I feel like Atlanta's going to have a bounce back game. I just don't know that it's going to be this one. I might have to pick them next week. Yeah, after laying the turd they did, I have to pick the Commanders. And I want to pick the Commanders too. But I don't know. I've got a weird feeling about this. Still going with the Commanders, but I have a weird feeling like they might lose this.
That'd be pretty impressive after that showing against Carolina. All right, next.
I really Can I just say something real quick?
I suppose.
I really think that to lose a game in that embarrassing a fashion is a better motivation than losing a game by 14. I think that they are actually more likely to have a bounce back now than they would be if they just lost in normal fashion last week.
I think that's true of some teams that actually have like a culture of winning. I think for a
Hmm.
lot of teams though, they're just like numb. Like, yeah, whatever, just another garbage season, you
That's
know?
fair to say, but I think that a head coach who is on a garbage team and has a loss like this is going to feel the that the seat underneath their rectum getting a lot hotter, and they're going to just absolutely excoriate their team. And threaten to make heads roll if they don't put up a lot of effort this week.
All right, tell me if the Saints head coach is one of those guys.
No, absolutely not. Um,
Well, they just got
they're really
annihilated by the
wishing that Clive
Seahawks. Is
Payton
this
might.
a is this a good game after getting annihilated by the Seahawks?
No, Buffalo, unlike when Dallas was good and they played down to teams that were a lot worse than them, unlike maybe like the Eagles and a couple of the other like really good teams that played down, Buffalo is a team that does not play down to bad teams. They just don't. They just play their own game and they play it so well. This is going to be an absolute blowout. This is not going to be close. Nobody on New Orleans is going to be happy coming out of this game. They're not going to have a moral victory. They're going to have nothing. They get nothing, sir. Buffalo wins by at least 3 touchdowns.
That's what I thought about the Dolphins game, and they actually played the Bills surprisingly close.
They usually do, and they always lose.
But yeah, I gotta pick Buffalo. Obviously, it'd be insane to pick the Saints. Okay, next up we've got the Browns at Detroit, and after that defensive showing against the Packers, what do you think the Lions are thinking of this one? Like, oh man,
They are living. They are licking their lips, man.
I
They're just
imagine they
like,
probably think they have a better offense.
well, Detroit does have a better offense than Green Bay. And Green Bay has a very good offense, I believe, but Detroit has, arguably the best offense in the league. Look at what they just did to Baltimore. I have complete faith in Detroit, especially after, as you said, they were able to hold Lamar somewhat in check. I cannot, in good conscience, pick the Browns this game, even though I think it could possibly be close.
But in week one, the Packers held the Lions to like 14 points, and now the Browns beat the Packers. So what do you think
Hmm.
of that, like merry-go-round?
I mean, look, there's all kinds of rock, paper, scissors things going on in the league. There's all kinds of things that are just flukes for one game. If we look at last season, there were so many rock, paper, scissors matchups where one team beat another. And sometimes one of the teams in that, in that triangle had 14 wins and one of them had 5 wins. I really don't think A beat B, B beat C really means a lot. And
I agree.
yeah, just look at these two teams as they match up on paper. I'm taking the Lions.
Yep, obviously.
Yeah, I've already
All
penciled you in.
right. Next,
Well,
we've got Shit Bowl 4, I'm calling it. We got the 0-3 Texans against the very disappointingly 0-3 Texans. And if this isn't a get right game, the Texans season is just over, probably.
mm-hmm.
So for the desperation feels alone, I gotta go for the Texans, man. It would just be catastrophic for them to fall behind not only the pedestrian Jags, but the 4-0 Colts, 3-0 Colts.
I'm tempted to take the Titans here. I think I'm going to do it. I've been so, yeah, Houston's
I could
defense
see it
still looks good.
happening.
I've been so dissatisfied with what I've seen from Houston's offense, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
every time they're about to get something together, they kind of just let it go.
Yep, I
Um,
understand.
it's like, you could look at individual plays on the Texans, and it's like, wow, oh, that was really good. And if you didn't look at like the 5 plays that were around it, run for -1 yard, run for +1 yard, throw the ball 3 yards over the receiver's head. You might actually think that they have something going here. I know that Houston's the better team. I'm taking the Titans.
If they are, they're not much better. All right. Next up, we've got Carolina at New England. And is Carolina going to go on like the first winning streak in like 5 years?
I just love that you let them off of being the shitball four.
Well, I think, the Patriots, I think, are trending up. And the
Yeah,
Panthers
they
just
are.
won, so I don't think we can call this shit bull.
Okay.
So will the Panthers win the first back-to-back games in like 5 years?
It's just been so inconsistent. I know that there's a reason to like them. I still like what I've seen from May so far this season, even though it hasn't led to a lot of wins. I am going to give the Patriots the edge. What do you think?
I agree. I just think I think they're looking towards like an attainable future, whereas the Panthers are still like, I think they're still like opening every pot and pan in like, the kitchen looking for answers, looking for a morsel of encouragement or talent. I think they're still in a death spiral.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, they're so inconsistently good. It's they're either scintillating or sinfully bad. I want to, yeah, I want to see the Panthers do more. This is a team that if they can just kind of figure out how to become more consistent, they'll be a fine team again. And the Patriots, like you said, very much on the up and up. I like them here.
All right, next up we've got the Chargers at New York, the Giants here. 3-0 versus the 0-3. And I honestly think, I don't know, do you think the Panthers or the Giants have a brighter future right now in the short term?
Panthers.
No, I actually am more high on the Giants, just because they're gonna start that Jackson Dart guy in this game. God rest Russell Wilson, bless him, and all that. But he's one of the seven geezers from like when I was a kid watching football that's still left in the NFL. So that sucks. He'll probably retire now if he doesn't start again, I imagine. But I think the Giants can actually like do better. I think the Panthers are really in like turmoil.
I missed my opportunity to say this earlier, but you know how much Kirk Cousins' contract is for 4 years?
I don't know, man. He's robbed every team he's been on, man. That guy's made out like he's made out like a bandit.
Bonnie and Kirk, more like. Yeah, $180 million.
That's what the Falcons owe him.
Huh?
That's what the Falcons are gonna owe him.
Yeah, for 4 years. $180 million.
Well, good for him. He robbed the Vikings and the Redskins.
I'm sure Bernie Sanders has something to say about that. I'm picking the Chargers. I have nothing to say about this game besides it's going to be a really, really obvious outcome.
Yeah, that Chargers defense has been pretty feisty.
Herbert's better than a lot of people give him credit for, I feel.
He's okay.
Yeah.
All right, next up we've got the Eagles at Tampa, both undefeated. Something's got to give. I got to be honest, I think a lot of the Eagles' wins have been shaky, but every Bucks win has like been by a last-second field goal. But but Baker's been clutch. He led them to winning fourth quarter drives in every game this season so far. This is like such a tough one to call, man.
Can you imagine Baker Mayfield doing the tush push?
I don't think the Bucks even do that.
Of course not. Yeah. I mean, you need a really physical quarterback, among other things, to survive that. I just thought it was a funny image, particularly with Baker.
He barely even runs.
Exactly.
Well, what do you feel in this game, man?
I'm taking the Eagles in this one. No disrespect meant to the Buccaneers, but
Not even
I
gonna
don't
give it
think
a second thought.
I did not give this a second thought. I think that the Eagles, despite having close wins, are not nearly as shaky as you believe they are. And coming off of the Rams game, I think they have a lot of momentum.
Well, I think we're going to disagree for the first time. I think I'm going to go with the Bucks, man. I think Bakers can torch that Eagles secondary that's like 10% as bad as the Cowboys secondary.
Not only are you wrong about this, but you're not even wrong. But you're not even right about this being the first time we disagreed. We had Toilet Bowl 4.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, my bad. Toilet bowl 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I honestly, I respect the Buccaneers pick. I think absolutely they could pull out an incredible game and win.
At
I
least
just
they're
think
at
the Eagles
home.
don't pick against the defending Super Bowl champs until they actually lose a couple games. You made that mistake last season.
They did lose some games. I just didn't call the right ones.
Next up,
Next up, we've got the Colts at Los Angeles. And I don't know what's going on in Indianapolis, but I'm not picking against it. I don't believe in it for a minute, but I'm not picking against it. You gonna go with your boy Sean McVay?
I'm going with my boy Sean McVay to throw this game and Daniel Jones to
Okay.
start 4-0 on the Colts.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
I do think this will be an interesting game. On paper, the Rams are probably the better team. Just Fisk and especially Verse are going to make it very hard for for Jones to operate the way he might normally operate against a worse defense, against less pressure, against worse coverage. But even though Stafford, and I do want to say, has been throwing more accurately this season than I've seen him throw in the last couple seasons, he still has a couple weird wobblers. I think Indianapolis is going to get it done.
You think it'll be close?
I do think it'll be close. I'll give you my prop when we finish because it is from this game, and I've just been so pleased with what I've seen from Indy this season.
What was your prop?
Let's wait till the end. I'll give it to you at the end.
Okay. Next up, we've got the Jags at San Francisco. And
Yep.
is this enough Jags magic that's like, is this enough inertia to give the 49ers their first loss?
This is so interesting, right? Jags actually playing reasonably well. 49ers 3-0, but badly injured. This is like very much a toss-up to me. Ugh. God, do I say that the 49ers finally succumb? What do you think? What do you think?
I'm still thinking of how I should even weigh it. I'm just like you. I'm not sure. I'm weighing it in my mind. The intangibles, the magic,
49ers at home with a loud crowd. I still don't think ETN looks that good. I'm gonna give the nod to San Francisco. I don't feel confident at all.
You don't feel confident in picking the Niners?
I don't feel confident, but I'm going to do it. I wouldn't feel confident picking the Jags either. I feel like this is really a coin flip. This is a
Yeah.
Rorschach. And what do you think is most important in football?
Well, what I know is McCaffrey has played well in the season so far. He's
Hmm.
played well every game, and if that continues, they'll probably win.
He didn't have a great stat line last game, but I think he did enough. Yeah.
Well, he was really good
So
in he was really good in the passing game.
yeah, you've got the 49ers as well?
Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got Baltimore at Kansas City, and how much faith you got in the Chiefs this time?
A lot, but not enough. Baltimore is really, really good. Uh, I could see the Chiefs actually playing up to their opponent and winning this. They're at Arrowhead. They looked really, really smooth against the, not terrible Giants defense in the second half of last game. But really, their offense has not looked good. Kelsey has been an absolute disaster this season. Man, like if you put me out on the field, I'd probably fall down after taking 2 steps, but I'm still playing better than Kelsey is. I don't have enough faith right now in the Chiefs' offense to beat a team this good. I think even if Kansas City gets it going a few times, Baltimore is just going to answer them every time. I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah. I refuse to believe with the quality of their
No,
win and
God.
who they've lost to and the manner in which they've lost in those games. I refuse
Uh-huh.
to believe that they can keep up with the Ravens, even if somehow they're able to put points up on the Ravens, which I don't
I'm
think
thinking the same.
I don't think they'll even be able to put a lot of points up on the Ravens. If the Chiefs do win this, I think it'd end up being some kind of 17-21 game or something. I just don't
Yeah,
see this form of the Chiefs is not going to score probably 30 points this whole fucking season. Like this,
I'm thinking we probably get 28-17 or something like that. Feels to me like most likely to be a comfortable Baltimore win. But don't disrespect the Chiefs' name. Like as much as their offense is kind of sputtering at times, they're a good team.
in that case, the Ravens are going to drop 50 on
Wow, 50.
them. Gotta disrespect them Chiefs. Obviously, I'm picking the Chiefs. Fuck the Chiefs. I mean, picking the Ravens.
No, no, no. You have to take your first answer, sir.
All right, next up, we've got the Bears. The Herculean Bears at the Las Vegas Raiders over here. Can anyone stop these Bears? They were just so good in their last game.
Oh yeah, almost everyone can stop the Bears. The Raiders can't stop the Bears, though. I'm taking Chicago.
Really? How do you rationale that? Don't you look at both these teams and is there anything not fraudulent or genuine about either of these teams?
There's a lot. I mean, is it even fair to say fraudulent if we don't believe in them in the first place?
I'm just saying,
Um,
how do you pick one of these teams with such confidence?
One of these teams is not the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay. I don't know, man.
I would take the Giants over the Raiders, dude.
You think the Raiders are that bad?
I think the Raiders are that bad.
I don't know.
It's just
I always say the Bears are just a worse version of the Cowboys. I think the Bears and Raiders aren't that far apart, which means I think the Bears are going to find a way to choke and lose to the Raiders. I'm going to pick the Raiders, man.
man, the Raiders are
I'm
like
telling you,
some
the Bears are
really
just worse
big.
Cowboys. I know they just beat the Cowboys, but the Bears are a carbon copy of the Cowboys, man.
The Raiders are like this really big budget show that just tries to use all the parts that work from other shows, but have no idea what actually made them good shows in the first place. They'll get all the stars. They'll have high production value, but not actually do the special effects well. Uh, the Raiders are just a team that does not know how to put anything together. And even though on paper they're definitely not the worst team in the league, I think they could find a way to lose to every team, maybe even the Saints.
What a showdown.
I'm taking the Bears. You got the Raiders, right?
Does that mean you think the Saints are the worst team in the league?
Did you did you not watch any of last week?
I mean, a lot of teams look bad every week.
Yeah, I know, but when have the Saints ever looked good?
Are the Saints worse than the Dolphins?
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah!
Okay.
The Dolphins aren't the bottom 5 team.
Okay. They're not a bottom 5 team. Okay.
No, I mean they
They're
may
a
not
bottom
be a
10
bottom
team,
2
Chris,
team
of
in their
course.
division. They may not be a bottom 2 team in their own division.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Next up, let's move on to the most clownish night. What do you call it? Primetime game of the season so far. The absolute demolition that the Packers are going to put on against the Cowboys. And you bet your balls, man, I bet Micah's going to go absolute apeshit crazy on Dak this game. This is going to be the fucking revenge match of revenge matches. You just wait. He's going to strip Dak. He's going to pants Dak. He's going to steal Dak's bling. He's gonna fucking steal that. He's gonna knock out. You better. He's gonna make them regret trading his ass for $1 billion. You just wait and see, man.
How many teeth will Dak still have at the end of this game?
He probably just his molars because they're the hardest to get to. That's it.
Oh man,
It won't matter if it costs Micah like 4 penalties and an ejection. He'll get them all.
He's gonna go on Survivor 15 years from now and pull a full Dawn. Yeah, I've got Green Bay as well. I think last week was an absolute fluke.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, the Packers, they might be getting overconfident, and that might be how they lost to the Browns. Like they took a dump on 2 really good teams in the Redskins and the Lions, and they're like, "Oh, we got the Browns." And maybe they
don't even take a dump on them. They are a dump.
Yeah, they looked past the Browns, and maybe that's how they ended up losing that game. But I guarantee you, they're salivating. They're slipping over their own drool. Look at what the Cowboys secondary has fucking given up this season. Is it
even possible to look past Dallas?
It is not possible. This secondary is the most non-existent, poorest shit I have ever seen in the history of watching the Cowboys since like Tony Romo's like rookie season or something. This is like they might as well have like 6 men on the field.
One thing about Dallas is that their target will always be so big that even when they're not a good team, no team will ever look past them. Every team wants to just trounce the Dallas Cowboys.
Everyone wants to make them look like a fool.
Make Jerry Jones cry, if he even understands what's going on at this point.
You're absolutely right. Everyone wants to make the Cowboys look like fools.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we're picking the Pack.
Take that, Jerry.
Okay, next up, our first game on Monday night, we've got the Jets at Miami, and tell me which one of these dumpster fires is going to be able to put out this game, because as you're so fond of saying, one of these teams has to win.
One of these teams has to win, and one of these teams will deserve to win by the end of the night. Miami has played 2 relatively good offensive games in a row. And really their absolute cardinal sin has been after they get tackles for losses on first and often second down, they let the other team get a first down on 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12. The Giants aren't good enough to do that consistently. Devon Achane is still looking really good. He has not had a bad game this season. He's been especially good in the passing game, which has been surprising. I think Miami has the tools to get this done, and I don't think that they're going to go 0-4. I'm taking them all the way. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I don't think it's going to be a total stomp either. But I think Miami's got this comfortably, and I'm looking forward to this happening.
Yeah, that makes sense. Achane has looked good, and that's about all that's looked good over there offensively. That Dolphins defense hasn't been too hot, and the Jets have put up almost 30 points like 2 out of 3 games this season. And I honestly think Tyrod Taylor is an improvement over Justin Fields. I don't know which one of them is actually starting this game. Fields might be out for another concussion, but I'm saying Fields or Taylor, I'm going to pick the Jets for this game. I just think
the Giants.
The Jets. They're not playing the Giants.
I'm sorry, I had it written down wrong. The Jets.
Yeah, you said that a couple times on accident. Yeah. So, I think the Jets' offense is just good enough to squeak by these stinky Dolphins, man.
I gotta consider now that it's the Jets and not the Giants. I was actually thinking they were playing the Giants this week.
Well, now you gonna throw your team under the bus now?
No, I'll still take Miami. Like I said, they might not be a bottom 2 team in the division. Let's see them prove it.
Oh, you did say that. Yeah. You even said they weren't a bottom 5 team in the league.
They're not a bottom 5 team in the league.
If they lose this, are they like number 5?
I still don't think so. I mean, let's see what those other bottom 5 teams do, right? Like Carolina still hasn't necessarily proven they're not a bottom 5 team. We've got Tennessee, Houston,
Raiders, right?
Can we honestly say that they're better than Miami? New Orleans, the Raiders. I mean, there's so many bad teams to choose from. Miami's a team that can at least do stuff.
All right. Picking the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the night game for Monday night, we got the Bengals, the Joe Burrow-less Bengals against the Broncos. and I'm calling it's a return to form. It's a Denver defense smackdown. I think the Bengals are going to make him look, Jake Browning, I think his name is. He's going to make him look like just as big as fools as that Minnesota defense did. Maybe worse. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, I mean, look, I took Cincinnati against you last week, and it was one of the biggest regrets of my life. I can't do it again. I'll take the Broncos.
Are you sure? Come on, they got like
Yeah,
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Come on, they got a chance. They got a chance.
I'm not saying they don't have a chance, but playing at Mile High, Denver's defense for looking really good, even when their offense doesn't perform that much. Yeah, I can't I can't take the flyer on Cincy here. Sorry.
All right.
We do still have 5 contested games though: Houston, Tennessee; Tampa Bay, Philadelphia; the Los Angeles Rams against Indianapolis; Las Vegas on Chicago;
Wait.
and New York at Miami.
You picked the Colts, didn't you?
I did.
Well, I picked the Colts.
You picked the Colts too? I thought you picked the Rams.
No, I picked the Colts.
Pretty sure you took the Rams and you took my boy McVay, but all right, you wanna?
I asked you if you were going to take your boy McVay, and then you said how you were going to take him to screw it up.
All right, so
go through those again.
Yeah, okay. So we've got Houston, Tennessee; Tampa Bay, Philly. I've got that. We've both got the Indianapolis Colts now. Las Vegas, Chicago; and New York Jets, Miami.
Okay.
All right, and my prop for the week, as I teased before, I have Indianapolis coming back to win from more than 10 points or 10 or more points down in the fourth quarter.
Honestly, that's pretty pedestrian.
Oh, that's pretty rare to
10-point
just
comeback?
call a game to have a comeback win from 10 plus behind.
I do not
Come on,
accept
how many
this
times
prop
has
bet.
McVay lost that?
That was nowhere near as crazy as what you said last week.
And what's your prop?
I think I'm going to say that the Eagles, Tampa, the Rams, and the Indianapolis Colts, I think they're going to combine for 1,500 passing yards.
I don't know if that's any more spectacular than mine. That's 375 apiece, but all
That's a
right,
lot.
we'll take that. Yeah.
I declare yours
1,500 passing
unsatisfyingly
yards,
spectacular.
right? All right, yeah, I'll give you that. So you have the Eagles, Buccaneers, Rams, and Colts.
Yes.
All right.
1,500 passing yards.
No problem. We'll total those up for you next week, and we'll see if your 4 boys can put it together. I guess that's pretty hard to do, right? Like that's close to 400 yards apiece, and
Well, the Eagles barely ever
back
throw
in the
it.
Mike Martha NFL, that wasn't so hard to do. But yeah, these days I guess it's pretty rare to have multiple quarterbacks putting up 400 in the same week.
Eagles barely ever throw it, so the other 3 are going to have to get some more.
All right, man. So this is if I can pull out all 4 of these against you this week, I will tie it up or go ahead for the first time.
I think you'll just tie it up.
Damn it. Well, we'll wait for week 7.
Yeah, if you get them all, you'll tie it up. All right, that does it for our week 4 predictions. This took way too damn long, and we will see you guys next week.